Many seek the path to victory, but only one can stand glorious over all. From the Badlands come the Orcs and Goblins, a green tide of brutal creatures that must be stopped.
Hello and welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide. Today we're looking at my favourite unit of the Orcs and Goblins army, the Greenskin army, and that is Savage Orcs and Savage Orc Biggins. Now in the tabletop version I collected an Orc and Goblin army for about 12 years, had a massive army, and the bedrock, the mainstay of my army was Savage Orcs, because they are just, well, nuts basically. So let's have a look at the stats and we'll have a look at the differences and then we'll see him killing some dudes. First off, we're going to look at the Savage Orcs. So this is the standard version. They're still expensive for an Orc unit. So they're a damage dealer, they are frenzied, and they have war paint. The war paint acts as their armour, basically. So the damage dealer stat gives them a strong emphasis on dealing damage. If fighting it makes sure to take it out before it gets into firing range or melee range. It just kicks ass, basically. So, Frenzy is fantastic. Frenzy, units with Frenzy cause more damage while their leadership is high. So, obviously we know, having looked at the other videos and the other units, that Orcs and Goblins struggle with leadership. So, I would use Savage Orcs very carefully and I'd keep them near the war boss. That's the most important thing. Keep them near the general, keep them near the big boss or the shaman. Somebody that affects their leadership, keeps that high because it will make them do a ton more damage. And lastly, they've got the war paint. The colourful tattoos on their bare skin grant Savage Orcs physical resistance, which reduces the damage from any non-magical attacks. Great. So perfect against sort of normal infantry and stuff like that. So the unit size is 90. They've got 6,000 hit points. They've got no armour whatsoever. Obviously, they rely on their war paint, as we discussed earlier. They've got okay leadership, but like I said, they need a general nearby. Decent speed. Good damage, weapon strength is 35, and they got an okay charge bonuses for sort of standard infantry. So they have the special ability, so physical resistance of 20%, that's from their war paints. They also can hide in the forest like most infantry, and they have frenzy. So as you can see, this is the actual details of the frenzy. So it's a constant, it's like a passive that affects them. It gives them plus melee attack plus a charge bonus, as it makes them immune to psychology. So they're not going to be feared or terrored away. They don't give a shit, they just want to fight. So now let's look at their slightly bigger brother, which is the Savage Orc Biggins. We'll have a little zoom in and have a look. Yeah, so they've got sort of bone armour to make them look more sort of scary, but they are beautiful looking units. So we'll flick between the two so we can actually sort of compare the stats. So the Savage Orcs have bigger and ardour. They like fighting stuff that they shouldn't really be fighting. So they love fighting big monstrous cavalry, large monsters, any sort of like large, feck-off unit. Big characters. Give them a character on a dragon. Yeah, they'll fight it. They don't mind. It's cool. And obviously they have the war paint ability as well. As for some of the actual attributes, so they have 6 plus 5 leadership. They do 12 more damage. Their melee attack is 12 more. They have weapon strength is 42 compared to 35, and their charge bonus is a little bit higher as well. 8 more, 34. Almost didn't do maths then. That was crazy. They have the same stats. They've got the frenzy. It's the same. Works the same on both units. They're a slightly smaller unit, 75, but they have 6,500 hit points as opposed to 6,000. So let's just chuck him into combat against some poor unsuspecting Bretonians. Right, let's move in. We'll go across there. I saw you! That's kind of a bug, that is, that the fact you can see them being buffed before you can actually see the unit. Right, so we're just going to speed this up a little bit to get them a bit closer. We'll line them up over there. So we've got 3 units of Spearmen at arms with shields. Yeah, they're not going to have a nice time, I'm guessing. So we're just going to move them up and then we'll go normal speed so we can see them in action. There's nothing too fancy about them. They get in and smash faces. And the Bretonnians going to come towards us? They're like, no, I'm alright, we'll stay here, thanks. No, no, you're going to fight. You don't have a choice about this. We must fight the Greenskins! Yeah, you're going to fight them. Right, we're going to both charge straight at the first unit. And we're going to zoom in with my fancy camera work. Oh, that's a scary... Oh, that's a scary clash. We're going to send in our general to keep that frenzy up. So we're just having a bit of fun here in a skirmish game, just so you can sort of see him in action. But basically, the most important thing with this unit, the single most important thing when you're using this unit, is to keep them near a boss. We need to keep that frenzy going, so you have to keep them with their leadership high, which is quite a tricky thing for Orcs to do. Wow, this is a hell of a combat, isn't it? It's a bit darker in the fighting in the afternoon. They look so much scarier than those guys, though. There's our leader doing his bit. So as you can see, let's look at the damage so far. That first unit of Spearmen is just getting decimated. They're not long for this world. The second unit is also taking a lot of damage and is about to break. The third unit hasn't really got into combat too much. And if you look at our units, barely touched. This first unit, the Savage Orcs, even with their no armour, that Warpaint's really helping out. The first unit's broke. We're going to charge in. So, like I said, these will form part of your main battle line because they need to be close to your boss, the general of your army, for that leadership bonus. That's where you need to keep them. They're not really a sort of unit that you'd send on the flanks and to do their own thing or something like these. These are your main choice of a battle line unit, and I love them. I love them dearly. I'll have to get some photos up of some of my army, my tabletop army. That is. Yeah, look. Yeah, they're kind of angry. Right, we shall leave it there. Before all the Spearmen die. Then I like the hero hasn't bothered getting involved. He's like, no, fuck that. No, he's gone. The hero's out of here. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I'm out. There you go, guys. This is our quick guide on the Savage Orcs. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoyed it, because we're going to be doing tons more unit guides. We're going to do a unit guide for every single unit in the game. It's taking me fucking forever, but it's quite good fun. And also we're going to do all the different races. Once that's done, we're going to go on to do some different stuff like strategy guides, army setups, good. Like I got asked in a comment if, a 20 unit army, what's a good sort of makeup of that army. So we'll be going through all that sort of tactics and everything like that. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Please use Savage Orcs in your army because they are fantastic. Bye bye.